Hi students, hi parents. Today we learned how to multiply by using partial products. So how can you use place value and partial products to multiply by a one-digit number? And we talked about the fact that partial products were part of the answer to a multiplication problem. So we started with something that was similar to what we did yesterday. So we're going to use the boxes to start, but then we're going to take the boxes away and just use the actual multiplication problem. So yesterday what we did was we used expanded form to break apart the larger factor in the multiplication problem. So 6 times 182 was really 6 times 100 plus 80 plus 2. So where we started first yesterday was we said 6 times 100, which was 6 times 1 is 6 and the 2 zeros. So that's where we're going to start when we're just doing it with just the numbers. 1 times 6, but it's really not 1 times 6, it's 100 times 6. So that would be our first partial product. Then we go to step 2. So we already have the 600 there. Now yesterday we did our second step was then 6 times 80. And we did 6 times 8, which is 48, plus the 0. We're doing the same thing today. See the numbers in blue? 6 times 80. That's really 80, not just 8. And we get 480. So then we add that as our next step. Then our last step is 6 times 2. So we have 6 times 2 ones, which is 12. And that's what we're going to add as our third step here, our third partial product. So this is what your problem will look like. 182 times 6. First we did 100 times 6, which is 600. Then we did 80 times 6, which was 480. And then we did 2 times 6, which was 12. And then we have that already written in a nice, neat equation. And we just add like we normally would. And we have 2, and we have 8 plus 1 is 9, and 6 plus 4 is 10. All right, so now let's try it without the boxes. If, however, you feel more comfortable drawing a box to help you figure it out, that is totally okay. And over time, you'll get more comfortable with doing it without a box. But if I was going to do it with the box, it would be, oops, not 4, it would be 2 times 4,000 plus 500 plus 70 plus 2. All right, so again, now we're going to start with the hundreds. So we would have start with the thousands. So we would have 4,000 times 2, or 2 times 4,000s, as in your first box. Then you go to your next box, and we come over with the 5, and that's 500 times 2. Okay, so we would write down our 8,000. Then we write down our 1,000. And I'm trying to remember, I got to keep these numbers lined up so I can add them appropriately at the end. Then we go to our next number, which is 7 tens, or 70 times 2. Okay, and then we have 140. And then we go to our last column, 2 ones times 2. Okay, 2 times 2 is 4. And then everything is lined up nicely, and we just add all of our columns up. And 8 plus 1 is 9. All right. Okay, so now you guys try. You got a chance to try this in class. But again, here's a nice way. You can color code it if you want, if that helps you. And then you're going to have one answer for each color. So you can pause the video and see what you would do here. Okay, so this is the answer you should have received by adding one part at a time. So first I did 100 times 2, then I did 30 times 2, then I did 7 times 2. And these were the partial products. And then I added those three partial products together. All right. Now it's always a good idea to estimate first so that you know if your answer's in the ballpark. So 190 would estimate to 200 times 3. So 2 times 3 is 6, and add the 2 zeros. So my answer should be close to 600. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to start with my hundreds. So 100 times 3, or 3 times 100, and we get 300. Then we have 90 times 3, or you can think of it as 9 tens times 3. So 9 times 3 is 27. And because it's the tens, 10 has 1 0. And then 0 times 3. And then we add those three columns together. And our answer is 570, which is close to 600. All right, now if it's written horizontally, you're going to first write it vertically. So we would write 310 times 2. First thing you're going to do is estimate. Okay, so this would be 300 times 2. 3 times 2 is 6, plus the 2 zeros. So again, my answer should be around 600. Now I'm going to start with my hundreds. 300 times 2. Well, 3 times 2 is 6, plus the 2 zeros for the hundreds. Then we have 110 times 2. 10 times 2 is 20. And then 0 times 2 is 0. And then we add those up, and we get 620. And again, very close to our estimate, so I think that answer is reasonable. All right, let's try one more together. So we're going to write it vertically first. 1,345 times 4. I'm going to estimate it first. So is it going to be 1,000 or 2,000? And it's going to be 1,000. Okay, times 4. All right. So, which is 4,000. Now we're going to do it again. We'll start with 1,000 times 4. So 1 times 4 is 4, but then 1,000 has 3 zeros. Then we're going to do, this is 300s, so 300 times 4. Well, 3 times 4 is 12, plus 2 zeros, because hundreds have 2 zeros, or 100 has 2 zeros. 10 has 1 0, 1,000 has 3 zeros. Then we go to our tens. 4 tens times 4. 4 times 4 is 16, and a 10 has 1 0. And then 5 ones times 4. 5 times 4 is 20. And then we add those numbers up. 4 plus 1 is 5. Okay? All right, so you guys try these two on your own. Pause the video. And if you get these two correct, you are ready to go on to do your homework. So pause the video, complete them, check your answers. If they're correct, then go on. Okay, so here are our answers as well as our estimates. Okay, and we completed these in class. What I would like for you to do now is your homework. Good luck. Hope this helps the parents. I know this is very different than when you learned how to multiply larger numbers. But actually, students make less errors this way since there's no regrouping. So give it a try before you talk badly about it. Okay, have fun. See you tomorrow.